Okay, well, I guess we'll start with our first seminar of the day. So, welcome everybody, and thank you so much for coming. So, the first seminar will be about res- the retirement essentials for restaurant owners and staff in the wake of New York State regulations, which you have probably heard twice already before. And our guest speaker for the day will be Mr. Katsuo Takeda from Morgan Stanley, and he is a financial advisor from Morgan Stanley. So please give a warm welcome to Mr. Takeda, and you can take the mic.
Okay, sure. Hello, how are you? My name is Katsuo Takeda, and then I'm here to explain about the 401k. Why 401k? Because that the New York State start Monday to offer 401k to all company with more than 10 employees in the New York State. That's why I'm here. And then first, that the regulatory explanation, and then I will explain about the basic 401k. What's the benefit to you by having participated in the 401k? It said about 35% of all U.S. private company have a less than 100 employees. And of those company with less than 100 employees, 48% of those company hasn't offered any retirement plan to the employee. So therefore, that the New York State, by the way, that besides New York State, some other states such as California or Oregon, many states has already started offer 401k to the company with less than 100 employees. And then New York State now try to legislate about the offering 401k to employee in 2023, and then try to implement those legislation in 2024. That's why I'm here to explain. Deadline is very close. And then here about the New York State, Connecticut has already launched in 2022, and then again New York State is trying to launch 2024. So this is a Maryland save, but it's a good comparison to explain about the 401k to employer and then employee. Before the deadline, the employer with more than 10 employees have to register for the 401k or take an exemption before the deadline. We don't know the deadline yet, but sometime in 2024. And then once you enroll in the 401k, and then your employee will participate in the 401k automatically. By the way, since we have only a few people attended in this seminar, if you have a question, please just raise your hand and then I will answer to your question. Oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you the one important thing. As I introduced, my name is Katsuo Takeda from Morgan Stanley, but today I'm representing for the three organizations, Morgan Stanley and Vestwell. Vestwell is my Morgan Stanley's partner, which offers a bookkeeping and then administrative job for your 401k. And then most importantly, New York Japanese Restaurant Association. So today, if you decide to participate in the 401k, please ask your New York Japanese Restaurant Association's officers so that they will lead you to us, and then we will open your 401k. New York State also offer retirement plan for the employee in the New York State. Then also we can, in a private company, as a private company, we offer the 401k for the retirement plan as well. And we compare the two plans, how different those two plans. And the state plan has only the Roth IRA, whereas that the 401k we offer has both traditional and then Roth IRA. And then maybe some of you don't know that about the difference between Roth IRA and then traditional IRA. And the Roth IRA, you contribute money, the after-tax money to your 401k retirement account. Whereas traditional, you contribute your before-tax money to your 401k retirement account. And the maximum amount is actually that this number is a little old. So the state plan is 6,500 the maximum, whereas 401k 22,500, so that you can contribute more to a retirement account. So that the deadline is close. So if you are employee, you own the restaurant business with more than 10 employees, just come to me later and then explain to you about the 401k program. Again, that we as a team with New York Japanese Restaurant Association, with Morgan Stanley and then Vestwell, those three organizations work together for your 401k program. And then if you decide to enroll in a state plan, and you have to do everything, but the cost is free. By joining the 401k with us, and then it costs you, but those costs are tax credit, so that you will get money back. And also that you don't have to do anything. We do 401k program for you. So this is a first presentation for the employer of the business, that why you have to think about the 401k to offer to your employee, because the regulation is changing. The second part is about the basic 401k. Probably many of you already know what the 401k is, but just like to make sure the future of 401k. So may I ask how many of you has your own retirement account, like an IRA, 401k? Okay, thank you. So that, if I can speak myself, over like 60–70% of my saving toward retirement are all in 401k, which means that if I don't have a 401k, probably I have some problem for my retirement. Good thing about the 401k, once you enroll in the 401k, your employer, your company will automatically deduct the contribution to your retirement account every paycheck, so that you don't have to worry about your retirement saving. That the most important thing, first thing first, you have to start plan for your retirement. When you like to retire, how much you like to save for your retirement, and what kind of lifestyle you are looking for after your retirement. Those things you don't have to think every time, but you have to think once. And once you think, and then decide how many % of your salary is going to 401k every month. So that's the way to save money for your retirement. Again, that year 2023, the maximum amount you can contribute to a 401k is 22,500, whereas that in IRA, 7,500, including that accelerated contribution after 50 years. So this is actually that the good chart to show you how it's going to work to contribute in a 401k. That the one in the left is if you contribute to 401k. For this example, like your biweekly pay is $1,346. And then if you decide 6% every month to your 401k, your contribution is about $80 in every paycheck. And then because of that, you contribute $80, those $80 deduct from that the gross pay of $1,346, and then your taxable income becomes $1,265. And then those are the taxable income, and then naturally that your federal tax will be based on this taxable income, and it will be $316. And then deduct the tax, and then your take-home pay is $949. And then in every biweekly paycheck, you can save $20 for the tax saving. And then for the year, because of 26 pay in a year for the biweekly payment, so you can save $524 tax, and which goes to your retirement account. And then, whereas the right one, if you don't contribute anything, and then, of course, you have a little more takeaway home income, so that, however, that you don't have any saving for your retirement. Again, this is the most important thing, is the automatic contribution. Is a really key word. Personally, I'm not discipline type person. So if I don't have a 401k contribution, probably I don't have any saving for my retirement. So I strongly recommend everyone to participate in the 401k. Of course, you can open IRA account by yourself, but human beings are very weak. We are not so disciplined. We forget. So that just ask the system to contribute for your saving. That's the way to go. So this is a traditional 401k future. Again, we have two different type of 401k. One is traditional, and then the other one is Roth 401k. The difference is before tax money or after tax money. All right. And the first, the traditional IRA, it's a pre-tax contribution, so that you can reduce your tax payment. And then because Morgan Stanley and also that Best will help you, so that we have a bunch of investment for you to consider. Many of investment is very first. And then convenient payroll deduction, that is the Best Well's part. They will take care of the automatic deduction, and then they will do the administrative job for you. And the next one is a portability. Portability means that, personally, I changed my job actually 5 times in my life. 2 times in Japan, and 3 times in United States. In Japan, I didn't have a 401k, but I got some pension. But anyway, after coming to the United States, I joined the 401k with the first company. And then when I decide to move on to the next one, I just roll over mean the transfer my 401k to the next company. Or I have a choice, open up my own IRA and then transfer 401k's retirement account to my own IRA account. That you can do too. And then because I moved the company twice in the United States, now I'm working for the Morgan Stanley, and then I moved my previous company's 401k to Morgan Stanley when I transfer to Morgan Stanley. This is a portability mean that so even if you plan to change your career, you don't have to take out the money from your retirement. That's causes you the tax consequence. But until your retirement, the 59 and a half is your legal retirement age. Until that, and you don't have to pay any tax for your retirement account as long as you roll over. This is a very important portability. And the tax-deferred earning. Tax-deferred earning means that, well, if you open a personal account in Morgan Stanley, and then there is three income, three earnings. One is interest, next one is a dividend, the third one is capital gain. And then every time you sell, buy, sell, and then realize capital gain, you have to pay tax. And then regardless of you like or dislike, you receive dividend and the interest every year, and then you pay tax every year. Whereas in a retirement account, 401k, you don't have to pay any tax while you are investing. That is tax deferment. And when you're going to pay tax, after you get a retirement, and then when you take out money from your 401k for your living expense, and then you're going to pay tax. Till then, you don't have to pay tax. And then probably many of you know about the compounding, right? So like 10% interest to the one is next year it becomes 1.1. And then next year, second year, the principal becomes 1.1 instead of 1. That is a compounding power. So that not paying tax for a retirement for like the next 20, 30 years, very powerful too. And the diversification, again, we have a variety of investment for you. Again, that why enroll into 401k, it's once you participate in the 401k, very easy, no-brainer. You don't have to think about it. And also that amount you can contribute to your retirement is much more than IRA, like 3 times more than IRA. So this is a comparison of before tax, the traditional IRA and then Roth IRA. I don't want to repeat. So the traditional means that you contribute your pre-tax money. Roth IRA means that you contribute after tax money. So that in a traditional, since you contribute before tax money, when you exit from your 401k, you pay tax. Whereas Roth IRA, because you contribute after tax money, so when you get out from your retirement account, you don't have to pay tax. It's very kind of tricky, and then I think these days Roth IRA become popular, but the Roth IRA has a slightly more benefits that I think there are a number of restrictions as well. So that those are really detailed. So if you're interested in, please come to me and I will send you the information. So when you decide the 401k, age, unfortunately, age is probably the most important thing. I'm glad that I'm old, but I have a 401k, so I'm okay. But age is the most important thing for your retirement. Sooner the better. I don't mean to really scare you, but if you prepare your retirement in an early stage, much easier and then much less expensive. Much less expensive. I will show you the chart later. And how much you like to have for your retirement, and what is your current tax situation, and then how about your family? How many kids do you have? And then what the, expense for the education and the housing costs and such and such. First things first, we have to live today before we start thinking about retirement. But unfortunately, today is a day you have to start thinking about your retirement. And then no matter how small it is, you should start your retirement plan today, not tomorrow. Size doesn't matter. Just a small contribution is okay. But start today for your retirement. Start saving for your retirement. It is very important. I'm an old guy, and then I'm telling you, so it's true. I already experienced. So that there's automatic enrollment, also the automatic increase, so that once you set up, and then your contribution can increase automatically each year. So this is again about the portability, that the rollover. When you decide to move on to the new company or new carrier, and then you can do you have a 4 options. One is the cash out. The other one is roll over to leave the 401k in the company, and then roll over to a new company's 401k. And the last one is you open the IRA account, your own IRA account, then roll over to your IRA account. You have a 4 options. So when you invest in a 401k, the most important thing is asset allocation. Probably you have heard before, asset allocation is very important because 401k investment, long-term investment. Unless you are like a 58 years and then you decide to retire next year, 59 or 60, and it's not really long-term, but usually that retirement plan is a long-term. If you're in the 30s, 40, you have like another 20 to 30 years before your retirement. So that asset allocation is very important. So basically, there are 3 different types of investment in the 401k. Cash or cash equivalent, and the fixed income, it's a bond, like American government bond or a corporate bond, any type of bond. Bond is one you lend the money and the company or government will pay you interest. That's the bond. And then equity is a stock. You know that the Dow Jones and the S&P 500, that you invest in a company, and then you will gain, you will pay your dividend, and also that, if you're lucky, and then you will see that some capital gain. These are all asset allocation map. And this day that we offer target date fund. It is more like, a Makunochi Bento, that all professionals gather together and they make up the asset allocation for you. So for instance, if you aim to retire 2050, and then you have another 27 years, before your retirement. And then probably you can find a target date 2050 for your retirement. And then once you invest in the fund, and they will manage your fund correctly. I would like to show you one important. This one is very important to me. Very interesting and important to you. Okay, there's three different types of employee here. One is Alex. Alex is still young, 30 years old. And then he started contributing to 401k at the age of 30. 3,000 per year. 3,000 per year, only the $250 a month. And then when you retire at the age of 70, his contribution will become 842,000. That's his Alex, because he started 30. The next one is Jenny. Jenny started her 401k at the age of 40. And then instead of 3,000, her contribution is 4,000 a year. And then when she retired at the age of 70, her contribution became 493,000. Tyler is a my type of guy. He's very easygoing. He didn't prepare much, or he has some reason not to. He couldn't participate in the 401k till 50. But finally, he decided that participate in at the age of 50, and then he decided to contribute 6,000 a year, double of Alex. And then he worked another 20 years, and then he ended up, his 401k ended up 302,000. To me, it's very important. Compare Alex, Jenny, and then Tyler. Who contributed the least yearly? Alex. Alex contributed only 3,000. But he ended up, his 401k ended up the most. More than double of Taylor. Little less than double of Jenny. So by looking at this chart, I think we can assess that the time is very important. And then again, we are not really disciplined. We are weak human beings, so that rely on the system is sometimes very useful. Just join the 401k, and then they will deduct from your paycheck every month, and then put into your retirement account. And then you don't have to worry about your retirement very much financially. I don't know. Some of the stuff, you still have an issue, but financially, you don't have to worry about it. I hope you don't remember, you don't have to remember anything what I said today. But please remember this chart. It's very important. So the rest is just get started. Time is now. Please start it. And also the employer, because of the changing regulation, and then you have to offer 401k. If you have more than 10 employees, and you have to offer 401k to your employee, starting from 2024. This is time to start thinking about 401k. Thank you. Do you have any question? You don't have a question? Okay. All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for the insightful presentation. And let's give another round of applause to Mr. Takeda. Thank you. So, Yes, so if you have any questions for him, then he'll be right here. He'll be also be handing out his business card. So if you want to take one of those, then feel free to go ahead. Otherwise, the seminar is over.